My beloved child. Something shifted in the unseen world when the truth was finally spoken. For a long time, silence stood between two hearts like a closed door, hiding feelings that were never fully expressed and dreams that were never given a voice. But now, the energy has changed, and what was once buried beneath uncertainty is slowly rising to the surface, carrying with it a message of honesty, understanding, and emotional clarity. There are moments in life when people hide their deepest feelings, not because those feelings are weak, but because they are powerful enough to change everything. Your soulmate has been carrying thoughts that have grown heavier with every passing day. What was once easy to ignore has become impossible to silence, and the truth resting inside their heart has finally reached a point where it can no longer remain hidden. The journey that brought both of you to this moment was never simple. There were seasons of waiting, periods of confusion, and times when circumstances seemed stronger than hope itself. Yet beneath every delay, a quiet connection continued to exist, growing in ways neither heart fully understood. Some connections are not built through constant communication. They are built through invisible threads of understanding, through moments of remembering someone without knowing why, and through the strange feeling that a certain soul continues to live in your thoughts even when distance separates your paths. Type Amen if this message resonates with your spirit. The truth your soulmate finally spoke about marriage did not come from pressure or expectation. It came from reflection. It came from the realization that life feels different when a certain person occupies a permanent place in the heart. For a long time, they tried to focus on practical matters, daily responsibilities, and personal goals. They convinced themselves that emotions could be managed and postponed. Yet every road they traveled seemed to circle back toward the same destination, bringing your presence into their thoughts again and again. The heart has a language that logic struggles to understand. While the mind searches for reasons and explanations, the heart quietly recognizes what feels real. Your soulmate reached a moment where pretending became more exhausting than accepting what they truly felt. In a quiet moment of honesty, they admitted something that had been growing inside them for a very long time. Marriage was no longer a distant concept connected to obligation or social expectations. It became a vision tied to companionship, loyalty, and building a future with someone whose energy felt like home. Comment 333 as a sign of alignment and trust. The realization did not arrive all at once. It unfolded slowly, like sunrise spreading across a dark horizon. Each experience, each lesson, and each challenge revealed another piece of the truth they had been avoiding. They began noticing how memories connected to you carried a different emotional weight. Small details remained vivid in their mind while other things faded away. The significance of those memories became impossible to dismiss. Many people spend years searching for certainty in the wrong places. They chase signs, approval, and perfect conditions. Yet certainty often arrives quietly, settling into the soul without demanding attention. Your soulmate reached a stage where they stopped running from what their heart already knew. They stopped measuring every possibility against fear and started looking at life through the lens of genuine connection. Type 111 to welcome clarity and peace into your journey. The truth they spoke about marriage was not dramatic or complicated. It was simple. They realized that real partnership is not about perfection. It is about choosing someone whose presence makes life's challenges easier to carry and life's victories more meaningful to celebrate. They understood that marriage is not merely a destination. It is a daily commitment to growth, understanding, patience, and mutual support. The image they once held in their mind transformed into something deeper and more authentic. As these realizations grew stronger, old fears began losing their influence. Fear of vulnerability no longer seemed as powerful as the desire for genuine connection. Fear of uncertainty no longer outweighed the possibility of building something beautiful. The walls around their heart were never meant to last forever. Those walls were created during difficult times, but healing has a way of softening even the strongest defenses. Slowly, those barriers began to fall. Comment 777 for a communication on Valentine's Day. There was a moment when everything felt unusually clear. The noise of everyday life faded into the background, leaving only honesty behind. In that moment, they stopped focusing on what could go wrong and started acknowledging what felt right. The truth that emerged surprised even them. The future they imagined no longer felt complete without the thought of sharing it with someone who understood their soul. The image of marriage became connected to emotional safety rather than obligation. My beloved child, some truths take time because hearts need space to heal before they can recognize what they genuinely desire. Delays are not always signs of denial. Sometimes they are evidence of preparation taking place beneath the surface. What seemed like hesitation was often inner growth. What appeared to be distance was sometimes the process of understanding feelings that could not be rushed. The soul matures through experience. Every lesson your soulmate faced helped them understand the value of authentic companionship. Every disappointment taught them to appreciate sincerity when it appeared. Type Amen if you choose patience over fear. Archangel Michael says that clarity often arrives after a period of emotional transformation. The heart must release old burdens before it can fully embrace a new vision for the future. What is becoming clear now is rooted in understanding rather than impulse. Your soulmate has started seeing relationships differently than before. Surface-level attractions no longer hold the same importance. Emotional depth, trust, and spiritual compatibility have become far more meaningful. There is a difference between wanting someone and recognizing someone. One comes from temporary desire. The other comes from a deeper awareness that remains steady through changing circumstances. This awareness has become impossible for them to ignore. It continues appearing in unexpected moments, reminding them of what truly matters and what deserves protection. The truth about marriage is connected to a desire for something lasting. Not something built on appearances. Not something created to satisfy others. Something real, stable, and deeply rooted in mutual respect. Comment 444 as a symbol of strong foundations. Many people dream about the celebration but forget the commitment. Your soulmate's perspective has evolved beyond the excitement of beginnings. Their focus has shifted toward building a life that can endure seasons of change. They have started imagining shared mornings, shared victories, shared responsibilities, and shared dreams. They are beginning to understand the beauty found in everyday partnership. The strongest relationships are not defined by constant excitement. They are strengthened through consistency, kindness, and the willingness to remain present during difficult moments. This understanding has become part of their emotional growth. As these insights continue unfolding, their heart feels lighter. The confusion that once clouded their thoughts is gradually being replaced by purpose and direction. Some truths arrive softly. They do not announce themselves with dramatic events. They reveal themselves through peace. The more your soulmate accepts what they feel, the more peaceful their heart becomes. This peace is guiding them toward honesty. It is helping them acknowledge feelings that have existed longer than they realized. It is encouraging them to stop hiding from possibilities that once seemed intimidating. Type Amen to welcome emotional healing and growth. My beloved child, the path toward meaningful union is rarely straight. It contains lessons, pauses, and moments of reflection. Every chapter serves a purpose, even when that purpose is not immediately visible. The connection between two souls often deepens during periods when nothing appears to be happening. Growth continues beneath the surface, preparing hearts for future understanding. Your soulmate has been experiencing this hidden transformation. Their perspective has matured. Their priorities have shifted. Their vision of the future has become clearer. The truth they finally spoke about marriage carries sincerity because it was shaped through experience. It was tested by time. It survived doubt and emerged stronger than before. Archangel Michael says that genuine intentions become stronger when they are rooted in wisdom rather than emotion alone. What is developing now carries a different energy because it is supported by understanding. There is a quiet confidence growing within them. It does not need constant validation. It does not depend on outside opinions. It comes from knowing what feels authentic. The future is not being built through force. It is being shaped through alignment, patience, and emotional maturity. These qualities create lasting foundations that can support meaningful relationships. The truth has finally been spoken within their heart, and once a truth is acknowledged, it becomes difficult to return to old patterns of denial. Awareness changes everything. Comment 888 if you believe growth creates stronger connections. The story is still unfolding, but something important has already changed. Silence is no longer carrying the same power it once did. Understanding has begun replacing uncertainty. The heart of your soulmate is moving toward honesty, and honesty creates movement where stagnation once existed. It opens doors that fear tried to keep closed. What they finally realized about marriage is not simply about commitment. It is about partnership, trust, and choosing a future built on genuine connection. It is about recognizing a bond that continues to remain meaningful despite the passage of time. As this new awareness settles into their spirit, the path ahead appears different than before. More peaceful. More intentional. More aligned with what truly matters. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this journey is not the truth itself, but the courage it took to finally embrace it. Because when a soul stops hiding from what it feels, a new chapter begins, one guided not by fear, but by authenticity, hope, and the quiet certainty that love becomes strongest when it is finally spoken aloud. Type Amen and carry this message with faith, peace, and gratitude. The truth continues to unfold in ways that even your soulmate did not expect. What began as a quiet realization has now become a steady presence in their thoughts, appearing during ordinary moments and reminding them of what their heart values most. The more they reflect on the future, the more they recognize that some connections are not meant to be temporary chapters. They are meant to become part of a greater story that grows stronger with time. There was a season when they believed that keeping emotions hidden would make life easier. They convinced themselves that silence was safer than vulnerability and that distance could somehow weaken what they felt. Yet every attempt to move away from these emotions only brought them back to the same truth. Certain feelings are not meant to disappear because they are connected to something deeper than circumstance. The heart remembers what the mind tries to forget. Long after conversations end and situations change, genuine emotions continue to leave their mark. Your soulmate has begun to understand that what they feel is not a passing thought. It is something that has remained consistent through changing seasons, and that consistency has become impossible to ignore. As this awareness grows, they are learning to trust themselves in a new way. Instead of listening to fear, they are paying attention to the quiet voice within that speaks through peace, clarity, and emotional honesty. That voice has been guiding them toward a future that feels more authentic than anything they imagined before. Type 222 if you are open to new beginnings and deeper understanding. There is a gentle transformation taking place within their spirit. Old disappointments no longer carry the same weight. Regrets that once occupied their thoughts are slowly being released. In their place, a renewed sense of hope is beginning to emerge. Hope changes the way people see the future. It allows them to imagine possibilities that fear once concealed. Your soulmate is beginning to envision a life built not around uncertainty, but around trust, companionship, and shared dreams. For the first time in a long while, they are allowing themselves to think beyond limitations. They are no longer focusing only on obstacles. They are starting to focus on what can be created when two hearts move forward with sincerity and purpose. This shift may seem small, but it carries tremendous significance. Every meaningful journey begins with a change in perspective. Once the heart sees a new possibility, it becomes difficult to return to old ways of thinking. Comment 555 as a sign that positive changes are unfolding. My beloved child, every soul carries dreams that it rarely shares with others. Hidden beneath daily responsibilities and outward appearances are desires that remain quietly protected. Your soulmate has such dreams within them, and many of those dreams are connected to building a life filled with understanding, loyalty, and emotional safety. They are beginning to realize that true partnership is not about finding someone perfect. It is about finding someone whose presence inspires growth, comfort, and genuine happiness. It is about choosing each other through both calm seasons and challenging ones. As this realization deepens, their heart feels less burdened by uncertainty. They no longer feel the need to resist what comes naturally. Instead, they are learning to accept the truth with openness and grace. Acceptance brings freedom. It removes the exhausting need to constantly analyze every feeling and every possibility. It allows the soul to rest in what it already knows. The truth they finally spoke about marriage was not born from fantasy. It was born from experience. It was shaped by lessons learned, mistakes overcome, and wisdom gained through life's journey. Type Amen if you believe that genuine love grows stronger through understanding. Archangel Michael says that some connections are guided by lessons that unfold over time. The purpose of those lessons is not to create distance but to create maturity. A heart that has grown through experience carries a deeper capacity for commitment, compassion, and trust. Your soulmate has traveled through their own periods of growth. They have faced moments that challenged their beliefs, tested their patience, and strengthened their character. Those experiences have prepared them to see relationships with greater clarity. The person they are becoming today is not the same person they were before. They have evolved emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. This growth has changed the way they view commitment and long-term partnership. They now understand that marriage is not simply about finding happiness. It is about creating a shared life where both people support one another's growth and dreams. It is about building something meaningful that can endure through time. This understanding has become part of their truth. It is no longer an idea they consider occasionally. It has become a conviction rooted within their heart. Comment 999 if you are ready to release the past and embrace the future. The energy surrounding this connection continues to shift. What once felt uncertain is gradually becoming clearer. What once seemed distant is beginning to feel closer. The invisible threads that connect two souls are becoming stronger through awareness and honesty. There are moments when your soulmate feels an unexpected sense of peace. They may be occupied with everyday tasks, yet suddenly a feeling of warmth enters their heart. It is in those quiet moments that they recognize how much their perspective has changed. They no longer view the future as something to fear. Instead, they are beginning to see it as something to build. Every dream, every plan, and every hope now carries a deeper sense of purpose. The truth about marriage has opened a new door within them. It has allowed them to imagine possibilities they once kept hidden from themselves. It has encouraged them to believe that lasting companionship is not only desirable but worth pursuing. My beloved child, trust that growth is happening even when it cannot be seen. The most